Good afternoon. Please be seated. I'm Dr. John Raymond, the president of the Medical College of Wisconsin, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the commencement ceremony for MCW's Master of Science in Anesthesia program. MCW is pleased to honor those upon whom degrees will be conferred today. This day is a great moment in the lives of our graduates, and we're especially pleased that all of you are here to help them celebrate this momentous occasion. Now, commencement is a time to acknowledge new beginnings and not endings. Graduates, you're embarking on a profound and important journey. As a healthcare practitioner, your knowledge and skills must continue to grow because the science and art of medicine and healthcare are ever evolving. The coming years will see changes in your profession that will demand your commitment to lifelong learning. It's our fervent wish that as alumni of the Medical College of Wisconsin, your ties to us will remain strong, and that we will continue to be an important influence and a guiding force in your life. We also hope that your professional life will enrich not only you and your families, but the world and the communities that you will serve as well. At this time now, I'd like to again thank you for being here and introduce Mr. Philip Flynn, Chair of the Board of the MCW Trustees, to offer his congratulations to our graduates. Phil?
Thank you, Dr. Raymond. Appreciate that. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, permit me to extend our sincere congratulations to each and every one of you. We take a lot of pride and pleasure in your singular accomplishments. As you commence your new beginnings, we salute you and we wish you well. We're confident you are well prepared to meaningfully engage in the service of others. And so we wish you every success in this next phase of your life's journeys. Congratulations, our very best wishes. You did it.
Thank you, Phil. How's everybody feeling today? That was pretty lame. How are you feeling today? That's better. Some 7.5 years ago, in June 2015, the Medical College of Wisconsin's Board of Trustees approved a new Master of Science degree program in anesthesia with a target matriculation date of September 2016. At that time, there were only a handful of such programs, and MCW's was to be the first in Wisconsin. Our aim was to address the need for anesthesiology services by increasing the availability of high-quality, licensed anesthesia providers in the state. Today, there are 12 accredited programs in the U.S., including ours here at MCW. The board's approval of the new program reflected the hard work of then-chair Dr. David Waltier, his faculty and staff, and other members of the MCW community to continue to expand and enhance our medical education offerings. 28 months ago, we welcomed you to MCW to begin your journey to become certified anesthesiologist assistants. You leave us today as highly skilled health professionals who comprise a critical part of the anesthesia care team. You have successfully completed all required coursework and clinical rotations. You have successfully passed a comprehensive anesthesia simulation exam prior to advancing into the clinical phase of the program. You have demonstrated competence in patient care, integrity in personal conduct, respect for the rights of others, ethical behavior, and mature judgment. You go out into the healthcare world as true ambassadors of the Medical College of Wisconsin, and we are very proud that we can now call you alumni. Congratulations on your outstanding achievements and your dedication to ensuring a healthier world for us all. I would now like to welcome this afternoon's keynote speaker and honorary degree recipient, Jesse Ehrenfeld, MD, MPH. Dr. Ehrenfeld is a professor of anesthesiology at the Medical College of Wisconsin, director of the Advancing a Healthier Wisconsin Endowment, and senior associate dean at MCW. He also serves as president-elect of the American Medical Association and will be installed as the AMA president in June 2023 as the first openly gay individual to hold these positions within the AMA. Active in organized medicine since medical school, Dr. Ehrenfeld was elected to the AMA Board of Trustees in 2014 and served as chair from 2019 to 2020. Dr. Ehrenfeld has also served as a member of the governing councils of both the AMA Young Physicians Section and the AMA Resident and Fellow Section, as well as the governing boards of the American Society of Anesthesiologists Resident Component and the Illinois State Medical Society. Additionally, Dr. Ehrenfeld is a former speaker for the Massachusetts Medical Society and the youngest officer in the organization's 228-year history. A co-author of 18 clinical textbooks, Dr. Ehrenfeld is editor-in-chief of the Journal of Medical Systems. His research focused on how digital technology can improve surgical safety, patient outcomes, and health equity has been funded by the National Institutes of Health, the Department of Defense, the Anesthesia Patient Safety Foundation, the Foundation for Anesthesia Education and Research, and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Dr. Ehrenfeld's work in this arena has led to the publication of more than 200 peer-reviewed manuscripts and recognition as an inaugural recipient of the NIH's Sexual and Gender Minority Research Investigator Award. Dr. Ehrenfeld served in Afghanistan during both Operation Enduring Freedom and Resolute Support Mission to care for service members wounded in combat. Dr. Raymond, I present Dr. Ehrenfeld to you as a worthy candidate to receive an honorary doctoral degree from the Medical College of Wisconsin.
Dr. Ehrenfeld, could you please step forward and stand on the star? Dr. Jesse Ehrenfeld, by virtue of the authority delegated to me upon recommendation of the Commencement Committee and by action of the MCW Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Medical Science, honoris causa.
Well, thank you so much. Good afternoon, and congratulations to everyone. Commencement is such an exciting day, and we gather here to recognize and celebrate with you all of your accomplishments, all of your hard work, the long days and the even longer nights that took you to get here today. And, I know firsthand how hard all of you worked in the MSA program over the past nearly 3 years, because on many occasions, I stood by you in the operating room as you took on complex cases and challenged yourselves to become skilled anesthesiology assistants. And of course, you did all this while you got pitched a curveball, a pandemic, learning to work when you had to be flexible, figuring out how do you have determination when you have that extra challenge of trying to do things in a really challenging time. So having watched many of you progress through this program, I cannot tell you what an honor it is to be able to speak to you this afternoon. I tell you, I remember the last time I walked across a stage like this, it was when I graduated with my master's degree. And I remember sitting in my seat. I was thinking about having to get my apartment packed, whether I was going to be out of my apartment in time, and if the new cell phone I bought was going to arrive for my job the next week. Well, I remember a bunch of those sort of strange details. I have not a single recollection of any word that my commencement speaker uttered or their name. Well, I'm going to try to do it a little bit better today without going over time, resorting to cheap tricks, or spelling my last name, Ehrenfeld, 3 times. All of you are entering into the field of anesthesia at such an important time for healthcare in America, when we desperately need each and every one of you to chip away at the exploding demand that increases year after year, day after day for anesthesia services. Healthcare spending in the US is now $4 trillion. That's 19% of our nation's annual gross domestic product, and a major driver of economic activity in every part of the country. If you took the US healthcare system itself, it would be the 5th largest economy in the world. No matter what city you choose to work in, Your services and capabilities in the operating room will be in demand from today until the day that you hopefully retire. No matter where you go, where you choose to practice, there will be people who need your help. But I've got some sobering news for you. While healthcare continues to drive much of what happens in America and continues to grow in importance economically, this is a very challenging time to enter into, to lead, or to be a part of a healthcare team. We all understand the tremendous toll that the pandemic has taken on society, and particularly all of us who work in medicine and healthcare. And while I certainly hope that the worst of COVID-19 is behind us, we know that this virus will continue to be a major public health threat for the foreseeable future. Just look at what's happening in China this week, where in Beijing almost nobody is venturing out, and cold and flu medicines are hard to come by. We are just now beginning to understand what will be a wide-ranging impact of the havoc that this disease has caused on our education systems, our healthcare systems, and across all of our communities. But perhaps the most damaging, the most disturbing aspect of the pandemic is the misinformation, the disinformation, and the politicization of this medical crisis. And the impact of COVID that's most damaging at the end of the day may ultimately be this misinformation and its harmful legacy on the health of the people living in our country. To stay healthy and to make informed choices, all of our patients need access to credible health information. But rampant misinformation online and the politicization of health issues have eroded public confidence in science and undermined trust in all of our medical institutions. Though these trends have sort of existed for decades, they have become particularly acute during the pandemic. It's gotten so bad that Governor Hochul in New York recently declared a state of emergency in New York because so many people have stopped getting vaccinated at all that we're now seeing outbreaks of polio. And unfortunately, as the pandemic has unfolded, we've seen scientific advisors, sound medical advice, and healthcare workers demonized for political purposes. And so many of you, while you are out on your clinical rotations, doing your coursework, probably found yourself, like me, really fighting a war on two fronts: caring for those who were severely ill in a raging pandemic, while at the same time battling a PR war that questions the legitimacy of our work and our motives in healthcare. So what can we do? What can you do? Well, there's hope, but it requires each and every one of you to do a few things that go beyond what you learned when you read such notable texts as Pocket Anesthesia. I wrote it. Or other materials in class. You have to stand up for science. You must call on our elected officials to affirm science, evidence, and facts in their words and actions. You must demand that the media be vigilant in communicating factual information from credible sources and insist that they challenge those who trade in misinformation. We must not be afraid to call out medical misinformation when we see it. And when you all are providing care, you must not be afraid to say no to treatments that do not work, or even worse, cause harm to our patients. There is now a case before the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Maybe you've heard of it. It seeks to force physicians and other healthcare workers to provide substandard care. The lawsuit against a Wisconsin healthcare system was brought by the nephew of a patient who was put on a ventilator because of complications of COVID-19 back in 2021. The patient's family went out and got a prescription from somebody who was not associated with the healthcare system for ivermectin, somebody who had not examined the patient, somebody who was not involved in their care. The whole situation is really unbelievable on a lot of levels. But to make matters worse, when the team at the healthcare system appropriately refused to provide and administer ivermectin, that patient's family sued. And the Waukesha County Circuit Court initially told the hospital you have to give the medication. Then the judge reversed that a little bit, and he said, well, the patient's family could supply the drug and somebody licensed to administer it. This went to a court of appeals, which stopped it, stayed that decision, and said, well, maybe the courts really didn't have the legal authority to force the healthcare system to administer this medication. But now it's at the Wisconsin Supreme Court, and they've agreed to hear this appeal of the appellate court decision, and they're going to make a final determination on what's truly an unbelievable case. All of us sitting here know that ivermectin is not within the standard of care for the treatment of COVID-19. It makes no sense to compel through the courts the use of a drug that the medical consensus finds is unsupported by the available medical evidence and is discouraged by federal agencies and health authorities. The CDC, the FDA have issued advisories telling us that ivermectin is not approved or authorized for the prevention or treatment of COVID-19. While the NIH, the World Health Organization, and Merck, the manufacturer of the drug, all state that there is insufficient evidence to support its use to treat COVID. But as we've seen, the courts and politicians are increasingly encroaching on medicine, jeopardizing science-based care and interfering with decisions that should be made exclusively by a patient and their healthcare team. This particular ivermectin court case in Wisconsin could potentially continue that trend of interference in the practice of medicine by forcing all of us to provide substandard care to our patients, care that we know will do more harm than good. While we should all want our patients to talk to us and their healthcare teams about medical therapies and make informed choices, these important conversations have been greatly complicated by misinformation about ivermectin and COVID. And because of this, the roles that all of you are now entering into as you start your practice as anesthesia assistants will be much, much more challenging than before the pandemic. I still remember the first time I walked into the pre-op holding area shortly after the initial vaccines had been rolled out for COVID, and I was consenting my patient. I was talking about the risks and benefits of the anesthesia plan that we had developed, and I got to talking about transfusion risks and the subject of blood products. And the patient looked at me and he said, well, doc, I'm okay with getting blood if I need it, but only if it didn't come from anybody who'd been vaccinated with that COVID vaccine. This makes no sense. It is obviously not an appropriate medical reason to forego a blood transfusion, but these are the type of hard conversations that all of you are going to face in the coming months and years as you enter into practice. Now, there is hope. The good news is that research suggests trusted voices can make a difference. And all of you, as licensed anesthesia practitioners, have the potential to be those trusted voices, to demystify the process of how a vaccine is developed and tested, to help increase the number of people who are willing to receive vaccines, to alleviate concerns about the side effects, and to talk down overplayed untruths. All of you can play an important role in this regard. A strong recommendation from a healthcare professional is a key factor in encouraging vaccination. In short, if we trust it, our patients will trust it. And we need all of you to be vaccine ambassadors to your patients, your communities, and across your broader spheres of influence. Don't make any mistake, your voice holds sway. Your experiences lend credibility in all of the interactions you have on topics related to both your area of practice and healthcare generally. But for the world and your communities to benefit from your knowledge, you have to make your voice heard. And I encourage all of you to confront misinformation with equal parts compassion and professionalism, recognizing that tightly held but incorrect beliefs can have deep roots. Show people how much you care before you tell them what you know. Today, we're living in a fragile world, a world where trust in science, regulated products, advice from regulators, government agencies, even advice from the president of the AMA is increasingly at risk of being discounted or, in worst cases, deliberately ignored. Too many people are choosing sides in arguments we just shouldn't even be having. But again, there is hope. And that hope comes from the human connection. And no profession draws more intimately upon our common bonds than healthcare. Health care. It's right there in the name. We do what we do because we care. And that's why, as I look at all of you gathered here today, with your family and your loved ones behind you, I do remain optimistic. Because as we emerge from this pandemic, I know that together we can create a better healthcare system. The kind of healthcare system that better supports you, our teams, and our patients, and all of our colleagues. And I know we can do it because all of you have received some of the finest education available anywhere in the world. All of you have been given the tools necessary to have an impact and make a difference on the patients that you touch, the families that you serve, and the communities in which you reside. But to do this, it will take courage. It will take your willingness to stand up for what we know is possible, for what is right, for what is equitable, and none of us can do it alone. So, as you receive your degrees today, start to think about packing up your apartment or starting your job or whatever else is in your head other than my last name, Ehrenfeld. My only request is that you take a minute and look at the people sitting next to you, look at the people behind you, and remember that all of them and I are counting on you to make a difference. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ehrenfeld, for those wonderful words and for your leadership and for all you do for the Medical College of Wisconsin. We're now going to begin with the conferral of the Master of Science in Anesthesia degrees. Dr. Raymond is joining me at podium left. Candidates, will you please rise? Dr. Raymond, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Medicine, I present these candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Anesthesia and recommend that this degree be conferred upon them.
Thank you, Dr. Kirshner. By the authority delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Science in Anesthesia and pronounce you graduates of the Medical College of Wisconsin. Graduates, please come forward.
Sarah Anderson. Peter Andrew. Tanner Jack Duffy. Michaela Nicole Ellert. Austin R. Epping. Kyle Ryan Farmer. Muhammad Hassan. Hassan Katme. Ariel Knafel Bellion. Patrick G. McDermott. Aisha T. Muhammad. Matthew Neerdals. Tyler Payne. Mackenzie Reed. Jeffrey Spangenberg. John Judson Spencer IV. Megan Elizabeth Telema. Jenny Wintland. Congratulations to the 5th graduating class of the Masters of Science in Anesthesia program. I would now like to invite Dr. Jessica Olson, President of the MCW Marquette Medical Alumni Association, to the podium to say a few words to our newest alumni. Thank you.
You did it. Congratulations to you all. All right, I am Dr. Jessica Olson. I graduated from the Medical College of Wisconsin in 2015 with my degree in physiology. I owe a debt of gratitude to your fellow degree holders. I studied the cardioprotective effects of isoflurane, and many of your peers patiently explained to me what the heck a fluorinated ether was. So thank you to those of you who patiently explained to fellow trainees. So grateful. I have the honor of serving as your Alumni Association president this year. Please think of us as you forge exciting new paths in your career and share your successes with us. We would love to share your stories with future students who will be following in your path. We're truly excited to welcome you as a distinct group of alumni to our broader community. The growth and expansion of MCW has been exciting to witness, and your success in this program and in your career will only further raise the profile of this tremendous institution. We are so fortunate to have had you train with us. You've been fortunate to receive your training and education at an institution that not only teaches you the latest methods, treatments, and standards of care, but also develops them. You now possess an innate sense of innovation to advance knowledge and educate others, and I urge you to use it to its fullest potential. Not just the things, the heavy responsibilities that Dr. Ehrenfeld conferred, but look out for those trainees Googling under the table. We need you. Whether through your time, talents, resources, or donations, we hope that you will stay connected and maintain a strong relationship with both each other and MCW. You may be members of a small graduating class, but remember that you are joining a group of alumni that number over 20,000. We are so glad to have you joining us. In conclusion, I wish you all the best in what I'm sure will be exciting and fulfilling careers, not only as healthcare providers, but as leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Olson. And I'm sure that I speak for the minds and the hearts of this entire audience when I say to this group of graduates, now anesthesia practitioners, collectively and individually, that we're proud of you and your current and future achievements. MCW and its faculty are pleased and honored to have had a part in your preparation, and today we've made our public trust in you known to all. We fully and eagerly anticipate your future successes and your accomplishments to come. Now, with us today are a group of people that have supported you: friends, family, loved ones, faculty, and staff. If I could ask our graduates to stand, turn around, and give a round of applause to all those people that supported you. And if I could ask you to turn around this way and stand, look at Dr. Ehrenfeld. He only said it twice, so I'm saying it the third time for him. Please give him a round of applause as well. Thank you. Please be seated, distinguished graduates. All of us that stand here today before us have been more than spectators during this ceremony and, in fact, during your training. You all are participants in a very real sense, and without your help, your patience, your encouragement, and your willingness to sacrifice, many of those who've just received their diplomas and become practitioners wouldn't have been here this evening. You too have a reason to celebrate an achievement in significant measure. These ceremonies belong to you, and in many ways, you will be in the operating room with your loved ones as they deliver high-quality care throughout the rest of their careers. You've made an investment in these graduates that will pay benefits for them, for us, and for society for years to come. And you all have a right to take pride in these accomplishments. Now, I'd like to thank all of you very much for being here and for supporting our cherished and distinguished graduates. This now concludes the commencement exercises for the Master of Science in Anesthesia program. We congratulate you and remind you that true happiness is found only in the service of others, whether of family, friends, strangers, or community. And as much as you're willing to engage meaningfully in the service of others, so shall you be rewarded with career fulfillment, happiness, and joy. Thank you so much for being here. And to the staff of your alma mater, we again hope that you'll remain connected and remember your roots here at MCW, no matter where you practice. So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.